Hi, this is Gary with MACMOST.com. Today, let me show you how to use Siri on your Mac. MACMOST is brought to you thanks to a great group of more than 900 supporters. Go to MACMOST.com/Patreon. There you could read more about the Patreon campaign, join us, and get exclusive content and course discounts. Siri's been on Macs for a while, but a lot of people still don't use it. You can access Siri by using this icon here in the menu bar. It's usually the only color icon there. You could also access it in the touch bar with an icon that looks the same if you have a MacBook Pro. There's usually a keyboard shortcut. By default it's Command Space, but a quick Command Space will bring up Spotlight. You have to hold Command Space to bring up Siri. So before we look at more settings and options for Siri, let's look at what Siri can do. Some of the most obvious stuff is just to get information. For instance, you can ask for the weather. Weather.
It's currently clear and 39 degrees.
Often you can click on the results and it will load a web page or show you more information about that topic. Once you have Siri up, you can dismiss it with this X button here, or it'll kind of go away on its own when you start to do other things. But you can also click down here to simply ask another question. For instance, let's get some sports scores. NCAA basketball scores.
Coastal Carolina was definitively beaten by Pepperdine.
Now getting information is fine, but what about actually doing things on your Mac? Well, you can ask Siri for some simple things. For instance, you can launch apps. Launch calendar. You could open files. Show me my most recent numbers files.
Here's what I got.
And then you can double click to open up the file. You can also go directly to folders in the Finder. Open my Project Alpha folder.
Here you go.
You can also use Siri to search the web. Search the web for Civil War history.
I found this on the web.
You can search your own photos collection. Show me photos from Japan. Some of the most powerful stuff is actually being able to use your productivity apps like the calendar app and reminders through Siri. So for instance, if I wanted to schedule an event, I could do that without even opening the calendar app first. Schedule a lunch with Mark for Thursday at 1 o'clock.
Okay, I set up your appointment with Mark Davidson for next Thursday. Ready to schedule it?
Yes.
Your appointment with Mark Davidson is scheduled for next Thursday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m.
And you could do a reminder like this. Remind me to buy milk tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Okay, added.
You can also get into system preferences using Siri. So for instance, you could say something like, change my display preferences. You'll find this works with some preferences but not others. For instance, I can't ask for mission control. That won't work. You could start messages and send emails as well. Send a message to Joe.
What do you want to say?
I'll see you tomorrow.
Ready to send it?
Send an email to Mark.
What's the subject of the email?
Our meeting.
Okay. What would you like the email to say?
Looking forward to our meeting tomorrow. See you then.
Okay. Here's your email message to Mark Davidson.
Now there are plenty of settings for Siri. Go into System Preferences and then Siri. Here you'll find an on and off switch on the left. With that on, you'll have all of these different options. Now you might see different options depending upon which Mac you have. If you have a Mac with a security chip, in other words Touch ID, then you might get some extra things like, for instance, the ability to ask Siri by saying the words hey and then Siri. But I don't get that here on my Mac Pro. Here I can change the keyboard shortcut to activate Siri or turn the keyboard shortcut off completely if I just want to access it through the menu bar. I can set the language for Siri, but if you just want to change the accent of the voice, leave the language set for your country, but change the voice here. You could turn off voice feedback so you can ask Siri things, but the response will always be information on the right side of your screen. It won't be spoken. You could also turn off the icon there in the menu bar if you don't want that to take up space because you just use the keyboard shortcut. Now click here and you'll get some customization for some different things that you can ask Siri. And notice every one of them has learn from this app. So as you continue to do things in different apps and ask Siri to do things, then it will learn what you want and be more likely to show you the correct response first. Now there's one other setting for Siri, but you won't find it here. You'll find it in accessibility. There's actually a category for Siri and you can enable type to Siri. What happens then is when you activate Siri, Siri won't be listening at all, but instead you can type. This is a great way to use Siri quietly.
It's currently clear and 41 degrees.
And then if you want to use the voice feedback off, there'll be no sound either from you or from Siri. Now what else can Siri do? Well, there's a lot actually. If you activate Siri and then click there just to deactivate it right away, you'll get the help information. And you have all these different categories. The list is pretty long. You can click on any one and get examples of the things that you can do. As you can see, there's a lot that I didn't even cover. For instance, you can have the music app controlled by Siri. You can control maps with Siri, get directions and information about locations. You can have stock information. You can ask for times in various locations. You can do things with contacts. You can do things with notes. There's even a whole section here for Q&A with ideas of different pieces of information that you can get from Siri. And finally, one of my favorite things to do with Siri is actually just to do math. Instead of using Spotlight or the calculator app, you can just ask Siri so you can do something like this. What's 4,623 times 815?
It's 3,767,745.
What's 72 miles in kilometers?
The answer is 115.87 kilometers.
How many cups in a gallon?
That would be 16 cups.
What's 100 euros in dollars?
It's $117.87.
While Siri is by no means a necessary tool for you to use on your Mac, it can be very useful and help improve your productivity if you train yourself to use it for things that make sense for you. If you liked this video, click the thumbs up button below to let me know. I publish new tutorials each weekday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out.